Over the years, I've got a lot of requests to make tutorials about editing video. So here we go. I am using Adobe Premiere Pro, and I'm going to show you how to do a basic crossfade with your video. So I have already created my project. The first thing I need to do is import my video. So I have a future video coming out that's going to be all about how to design the layout for your channel homepage. I've recorded some video here, and let's say that I wanted to do a crossfade between these two videos. So the first thing I'm going to do is import these two videos into my project. And so I've gone to the import function, found my directory. I'm going to hold down Shift and select both files and click Open, and it will import both of the files. In the bottom right hand corner, you may have noticed it said conforming with a progress bar. If that is something that is happening, it's good for you to wait for that to complete. Now, I've recently upgraded the RAM on my computer, so that happened quite quickly. It may take longer for you. I'm currently working with 48 gigs of RAM, which is more than you probably need, but that's why it went so quickly for me. So I'm going to start off. Now, one thing you'll notice is it actually put the videos out of order. 1657 is after 1658. So that's something to watch out for when you are importing more than one video at a time. So I am just going to create a timeline by dragging one of my videos over to the timeline. And there it is. And I'm going to go to the scroll bar here and stretch that out to zoom out so I can see the whole thing. Now I'm going to drag my other clip onto my timeline, and I'm going to put it right up against the original one. But let's say that I wanted to have a crossfade, a transition between these two videos. So to make these two video clips crossfade into each other, there's two ways to do it. I'll show you both. The first one is you click on Effects, and you can go to Video Transitions, and there's a dissolve, there's a cross dissolve here, which is great. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit so you can see it in action. This is where my two files, where it goes from one file to the other. I'm going to take my crossfade and just drag it over the two. Now, this is an important notice that comes up here. It says insufficient media. The transition will contain repeated frames. So that means that in order to crossfade, it's going to have to repeat some of the same video. And so that's why you'll see where it says cross dissolve here, it's got these lines through it. We don't want to do that. So I'm going to undo, and I'm going to trim my footage. I'm going to trim the end of my previous video by clicking on the razor blade icon and clicking there. I'm going to do the same to the second clip. I'm going to choose my selection tool. I'm going to highlight those two things and press the delete key to make them disappear. Now here's something that might save you some time in Premiere. If you ever have a gap like this and you want to drag all of your stuff together, just click the space between the clips and press the delete key, and it will bring them together in an instant. That has saved me so much time over the years. So now I'm going to try this cross dissolve again, this crossfade. I'm going to put it in, and you'll notice there was no warning coming up, and this time there are no lines behind it. And so if we look at it here, there's our cross dissolve. So that is the first way to do it, by going to Effects, Video Transition, Dissolve, Cross Dissolve. That is a sort of fixed thing here. And you can go in and you can make some changes to it here, but maybe that's not quite what you want. Maybe you want a bit more manual control. I'll show how to do it in a manual way. So first let's undo that cross dissolve. Now let's say that I wanted this to, okay, my eyes are going down here. So let's make that part of the dissolve. I can double click on this row to expand it. And you'll see that there's this white line going across here. And there is this little Add Remove Keyframe option. I can click that. When I've selected the media, I can click that, and it puts a little dot there. That's the intensity or the opacity of this video. So if I move along, I can create another dot like that, and let's say I want to fade out. I can manually fade it out by dragging that dot to the bottom. Now you'll see this fades out. Now I want my other video here, so I'm going to select that clip, click the dot, go a little bit further, click the dot again, and then I'm going to drag it down and to the left. So now this would be a fade to black or a dip to black done manually. You'll notice in the effects, you can also use an effect to do that. But if you want to control exactly when it dips in and out, you can use this manual function. So here, let's look at what a dip to black would be in the next video. Thanks for watching. Point, and it fades out, and then the new clip fades in. Let's say that's not what we want. Let's say we want a crossfade, a cross dissolve. How can we do that? I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. We can do this by using layers. We've got these different video layers here. So there's different rows here. Each one's a different layer. I'm going to drag this layer up one, and I'll drag my audio down just to make this easier. And I'll double click so I can now see there's my manual fade out and here's my manual fade in. And so I'm going to zoom in so you can see this. I'm going to drag this in here so they overlap. And so now this will start to fade out, and then this will start to fade in. And that's how you can do a manual crossfade, where you have more control over when things fade in and fade out. So that's two different methods you have right there for having a crossfade or a cross dissolve when you're doing editing in Adobe Premiere Pro. If you found this video useful, please click like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We've got tons more YouTube tip videos, and let me know in the comments, do you want to see more Adobe Premiere projects tutorials, or would you like us to focus more on things like SEO and TubeBuddy as we have in the past? Let us know. We would love to know what is more helpful to you, and we will focus our time more on that if sort of enough people express that. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.